Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome back to our art class for week 7. I'm excited to see you today and to discuss our new lesson. So the purpose of this lesson is to create space within shapes. What do I mean? That means that we're going to use shape and we're going to try to create some space to make it appear like there is space or distance between those shapes. And how do we do that? Well, it's pretty simple actually. So I'm going to show you. And all you need is a piece of paper, regular paper, whatever you have, and a pencil, and maybe any object in your house that is round, because we're going to be using circles today. So I have one size, the outer part of the tape roll. I have another size, the inner part. I have the same size actually as the opening in the cup, and then I have a smaller size for the bottom of the cup. You can use any size that you'd like, okay? And you want to have a variety of sizes. That means you want to have more than one size, because that is what's going to help create the illusion. That means you're going to try to make it look like there is space between them, because as we go back further into our space, things appear to be smaller, right? So let me give you an example. Excuse me. Let's take this ball, and I'm going to put it very, very close to you and to the screen. Pretend that the screen is our sheet of paper. So the closer it is to us, the larger it appears to be, right? And the further back I pull that ball, the smaller it appears to become in size. Am I right? I think I am. So now, did the size of the ball actually change? No, the ball is still the same size. It's just the space and the size of the circle that you're going to draw that will make it seem as though they are getting further back into our space. Now, for today, like I said, we're just going to do the drawing, and we're going to start by using line and circle shape, okay? Only those two things, only those two elements, line and shape. And later, next week, you're going to start, figuring out what you want to do with your piece. And you have lots of choices. It's your artwork, so you can't do it wrong. You can only do it right because you're the artist. So here I chose to make lines as my background to make the circles stand out. And here I used a chalk and water technique that I can show you next week if you wanted to really make it like it's outer space, which we do. And we do this in school, in my class, and it's really fun to do, but you do need chalk. It doesn't have to be drawing chalk. It could be pastels if you have pastels. If you only have sidewalk chalk maybe, that's great too. You wanna, if you can come across it, or if you have some from the summertime or from spring, you can just pick a piece of chalk and have it ready for next week, okay? And I'll show you what to do with it in case you wanna make it look like it's really an outer space scene. And if you don't have chalk and you're not able to do this technique, then you can always make it look like outer space just by using marker and crayon. And that's what I'm gonna show you here today, okay? So we're gonna start with our circles, and I need you to start with your largest size object. So your largest circle, we're going to put here in the foreground. You say, foreground. Good. Foreground is the closest part to us when we're viewing a piece of artwork. Middle ground is the middle of your surface or your space. And the background is always at the top, and it's supposed to be the furthest thing from us. Okay, so we're gonna place our object near the foreground or towards the bottom of the paper, and we're going to simply trace. Okay, and if you make a mistake, you can always erase because we're using pencil. Now, there's a reason that we're using pencil, or that I am using pencil today. I usually use marker so you can see my lines from far away, but because we are going to try to transform these circles to looking like more like a sphere, I am going to choose to only use pencil, okay? So, but we'll get to that later. So we have a circle shape, and it's a very large size. Now we're going to take another object, and I'm going to overlap. You do. Overlapping. Very good. Overlapping. What does overlapping mean? Overlapping means that one object is hiding a piece of another object. And as you can see, that makes this hand be closer to us and show that there is space in between these two hands, right? Okay, so we are using shape to create that kind of a space or distance. So I'm gonna take this cup and I'm going to put it right on top of my circle, and I'm gonna start tracing at my large circle, go around my cup and touch that large circle and stop. Stop. Don't trace through the circle, because then it will make it look like this is see-through or invisible. And then that won't give us the effect that we want. So right now we have a large circle, we have a medium circle. I need a smaller circle now. So I'm going to flip the cup, and I'm going to put maybe this small circle far, far away in the distance. So where would I put it? Would it be in the foreground, the middle ground, or the background? What was that? Excellent. If you said that it should be in the background, you are correct. So I'm going to take my cup, and I'm going to take my pencil, and I'm going to trace very carefully and slowly so that I can have nice circles. Okay, I think it looks really good so far. Maybe I want to add a few more. So I'm gonna make this look like outer space, okay? And I'm going to do it by making it appear that these circles are what? What's floating in outer space? That's the shape of a circle. Very good, the planets, right? So maybe I want to make a few more, but maybe I want to make one smaller than this bottom of my cup. So I'm going to trace this little flashlight that I have, and I'm going to put another shape here. Another circle, but way smaller in size, like that. Okay, and then maybe I want one more. Oh, I want another one overlapping, right? I'm gonna have fun. We're just working with circles, but it could be a lot of fun because we are using our imagination and we're being creative. And that was not good tracing, but I tried my best. So I'll fix it later. And we are doing what, boys and girls, with our circles? Overlapping. Very good. We are overlapping our circles. And that gives us the illusion that they're in front of one another and hiding a piece of the other. And maybe I want one more circle. One more. And maybe just a little piece of this one is going to overlap. And this could be an imaginary place, or I don't know, just an abstract design, right? Let's see. Yeah, maybe one more, just to make it interesting, but I'm gonna go off the paper. So I'm going to just get a little piece of this one. There. All right, I think it's starting to look like outer space. Let me pull you a little closer. Okay. Now that we have all these different size circles, or a variety of sizes of circles, now we're going to choose a color. And we're gonna start to color today. So I'm going to pick a color, and I think I'm going to make it orange. You can pick whatever colors you want, and I'm going to use crayon on purpose. Why? Because we're going to create the illusion that this circle is now going to be transformed into you say, sphere. A sphere, a form, a 3D form. So we're combining a lot of our artist tools, or our elements of design, and creating our outer space piece. So what we're trying to do is we're going to use different values, the lightness or darkness of a color. So I'm going to make some of my circle a light orange, then a medium orange, and then a dark orange, okay? And that difference in value is going to give us the illusion that this circle is not simply a circle. It's going to make it look as though it is a real planet, which is a 3D form. You say, 3D form. Excellent, okay. So this is a two-dimensional form, or 2D, because it's flat. You do, flat. Great, so this is a flat circle, and a planet is not a flat circle. It is a round, three-dimensional form. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to try to trick our viewers' eyes into thinking that this is actually a sphere. And the way that we're going to do that is like this. I'm going to make a crescent moon shape, right? Like a crescent moon or a banana. I'm going to choose one side of it. So I'm going to keep it on the same side so that it's not so confusing. And all I'm going to do, boys and girls, is I'm going to color. Color in the same direction, filling in as much of the white spaces as I can so that it can be very colorful. And by the way, I haven't done it much this school year, but whenever I'm making my own artwork and painting, I listen to music. And I know that a lot of you do also. And that helps our mind, right? That's another form of intelligence that gives us, like, creativity, right? You hear the music and it allows you to escape or think of other things or think of nothing, or I don't know. It's just another way of thinking, and it sparks your mind in a really, really great way. So, while I'm coloring, I'm gonna put the music on in just a little bit. And if you want to listen to the music as well, you can. But I'm going to do this one circle first, color it in, show you the steps of how we're going to transform this circle, and then I'll do the next circle, just playing the music quietly. Okay? So my crescent moon shape or my banana shape, I'm going to press hard with my crayon, and that's going to make a dark value. Then here in the middle, I'm going to make this a medium value, which means that I'm not pressing hard. I'm not pressing hard at all. And I'm still going in one direction. And here on this side, I'm going to make it the lightest value that I can. I'm going to do it super light, just enough so that you can see that it's supposed to be orange or purple or green or whatever color you want to make it, right? It's your artwork, so you do not have to have yours look like mine. Okay, so that's my light. I'm going to darken my medium just a little bit darker so that you can see the difference. And this will remain my darkest value. Oh, this is going to be a great galaxy that I'm making here when we're done. Okay, so that is my first planet. And now I'm going to do the same for these, and I'm going to choose different colors. Here, in this piece, I kept it all green, and I used color pencil. This one, I'm gonna choose to do different colors, and that way you can see the difference and you can figure out what it is that you want to make for yourself in your art piece, okay? But from here on, I'm just going to color in some more of my circles, a variety of sizes, and I'm going to do it in the same way so you can watch me and work step by step with me. And I'm not going to say anything, I'm just going to color in a couple of more circles, and that will be what your responsibility is for this week, okay? Don't worry about this background space here, what's behind our circles or spheres, or that it's outer space, okay? Because that can change next week, all right? So I'm gonna play some music, and why don't you color and draw along with me, okay? Once I've filled in all of this dark space here, I can go back in and make it a little bit darker if I would like to. Press a little harder. It's always easier to make it darker in value. You can never lighten it up, especially if it's crayon. Remember that on one side, we're pressing very hard to make a dark value. And on the opposite side, we're not pressing hard at all, and that's how we're creating a light value.
Introducing the AirKnit X Boxer Brief. Underwear that's...
And that is the end of our class time for this week, boys and girls. So I loved having you, and it was such a great time, and I really enjoyed having class with you. Remember that you need a piece of paper, and you need a couple of objects that are round, right? We're using circle shape, and we are trying to create space, whether it's outer space or just space, meaning distance between our circles. That is how we're doing it, and please remember that you need to overlap. You do, overlap. Excellent. And so pencils, crayons, color pencils, one of those if you have them, and that's it. This is what you're responsible for this week, okay? Next week, we'll worry about what's gonna be in between our circles, all right? So thanks again for joining me, and have a great week. I look forward to seeing your work. Bye, boys and girls.